Hello guys and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about the COVID-19 impact on international students and what all options do international students have, and the most important aspect is this coronavirus situation a blessing in disguise for international students. So do watch till the end. So guys, as you all know that the COVID-19 issue has brought a standstill to the international market everywhere. Most of the countries are still under lockdown. Countries have closed their borders for international tourists or travelers or students. Embassies are closed. International airlines are not operating. So in this scenario, what about the international educations? Like, what about the students who are planning their education abroad in different countries like Australia, New Zealand, Canada, US? So to these international students, I'll say that don't sit idle at home and do nothing, because the universities are still operational, their admissions department are still working, maybe from home, maybe from their university center. Applications are being processed, offer letters are being released. So guys, if you are serious, so don't sit idle. Why not you file your application upfront right now? I'm not saying that you file for the September intake or end of 2020 intake. I'll say you file your application for the January, February or March, whatever intake that is at your university, you file for that intake. Now at that point you will get a lot of time to wait out for the situation to settle down. Maybe your vaccination is just around the corner. So file the application, have an offer letter in your hand. Once you have an offer letter in your hand, at that point of time you see the scenario of the COVID-19, and if everything is good, then only pay for your tuition fees and then proceed for visa. Until then, what's the harm of just applying your application? The maximum thing that would happen would be the application fees that you are paying to the university. But majority of the universities don't take application fees. You should always keep your options open. Maybe at a later stage the situation normalizes and you haven't filed an application, and then you go and file an application at that point of time, then it's gonna take another few months for your process to happen. So why to wait out? Start right now and make use of this time. So guys, if you have already filed for an application and started with your process, or maybe you have received an offer, or maybe you have paid the fees, so there are multiple options what the universities are providing you in this current scenario. Now the first option that they're offering you is that, for example, if you have a September intake and by September things don't look normal, so you can always defer your intake to the next January or February intake. Or else, if you have a January intake option, they are willing to defer that to the next available intake. Second of all, if you have received an offer and have already paid the tuition fees to the university, so they are also providing you with an option that if you have changed your mind in this current scenario, you can take a refund of the tuition fees that you have paid to the university. And this is being offered by every university in Canada or UK or Australia, New Zealand, US, European also. Third of all, if you don't want to waste your time and you don't want to have that study gap in your profile, then you can always take an online class. Majority of the universities are offering this option, and you can be in India, you can take an online class, and moreover you can also save on your living cost. Guys, I believe that this COVID-19 issue may be a blessing in disguise for Indian students who are planning to pursue their education abroad. And let me just explain you how. So the first thing that you need to understand is that China is the major exporter of international students. Be it Australia, be it New Zealand, be it Canada, be it US, be it UK, everywhere. Secondly, China's image in the international market is going down, and there are many factors to it. Firstly, China was the originator for coronavirus. Secondly, China has been accused by many countries of hiding the information of the coronavirus at an initial stage. Because of that, coronavirus has spread throughout the world. Many of the countries are saying that why the coronavirus spread only in Wuhan and nearby areas and not into Beijing and the major cities into China, because they had that information and they hid it from the entire world. Because of this, everybody is demanding for an investigation into the spread of coronavirus from China. Now when China was recovering from the coronavirus thingy, it spread throughout the world. Majority of the countries were not able to manufacture their own products, especially medical equipment. At this point of time, China opened its market and started manufacturing products, especially medical equipments, and then sold them at premium rates. You just Google it out that how many Chinese people have become billionaires in this COVID-19 situation, and then you will understand what I'm trying to say to you. On top of it, China went on buying companies around the globe, especially into Australia, into European countries, US, India as well. But Indian government passed a bill for the companies to have an approval by the Indian government before a foreign direct investment can come. So this saved a lot of companies in India. If we talk about the latest news, you should be aware of the India-China standoff that has been happening, and there has been intervention by the US as well into this. And the Hong Kong situation is also hampering the image of China in the world. China has always been a bully, and it continues to remain the same. Now these are just only a few points that have happened and how China came under bad light. These situations have made countries take steps against China. So first step that has been taken is that there is a demand for investigation for the spread of the COVID-19, which China has also approved to, and it might take place soon. Secondly, the companies are also looking for alternative options for moving their manufacturing plants out of China because they don't want to have a relationship with them. US has exited from WHO because of China, as US had a belief that WHO was protecting China. Now if you have seen the recent news, there is a protest in Hong Kong. Now Boris Johnson is saying that he is offering citizenship to people of Hong Kong who have a British overseas passport. Moreover, US has also expelled a lot of Chinese students whom US believed had a link with the Chinese army and were also stealing the information technology from the US universities. And today itself I was reading in news that US has restricted all the Chinese airlines to enter the US border. So China is under a lot of pressure these days. Now all the scenarios that I have explained to you right now would directly or indirectly help Indian students who are planning to pursue their education abroad, because most of the universities are not prioritizing Chinese students as of now. But they want students to fill up their seats because ultimately it's a business for them. And they are focusing on India more. India is the second largest exporter of international students. Now most of the universities are offering this COVID relief scholarship as a promotion activity which they are doing in India. Moreover, now it's easier to get into a highly ranked university because universities are not focusing on Chinese students. And secondly, some of the students would not go right now for their education, so their seats might get empty. So the students who are applying right now have a better opportunity of studying at a ranked university. And students whose academics and IELTS score were weak, they are also getting through. This is what I have practically seen. Moreover, I am also expecting a relaxation in the visa norms and a better success ratio for Indian students especially. So I think this is a blessing in disguise for Indian students. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you liked the content of the video. If you liked it, then what are you waiting for? Click on the like button, subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon for more such videos. Ciao, until next time.